Hello everyone. Today we are going to review the movie The Darkest Hour. Now this movie is kind of one of those ones that I guess may have flew under a lot of people's radars because I don't think it has really that well-known actors in it. Well, at least they weren't well-known at this time anyway. I think they were kind of new, all very, very new to the game. Sorry, just hold on here 1 second. I'm just saving an email here. Okay. So I'm just going to pull up the list of actors on IMDb just to get so anyway, this movie definitely goes from 0 to 100 real quick. I will say that much. Oh, is there a Hotel Transylvania 4? Wow. I didn't think there was going to be another movie in that series, but hey. The things you find on IMDb. So we're just going to type in The Darkest Hour. Darkest. There we go. This is from 2011. Now I know that the main character in this one, Emile Hirsch, who plays Sean, has gone on to do a lot of other movies. I don't know if the rest of them really have. Olivia Thirlby, I might be pronouncing that wrong, plays Natalie. Max Minghella plays Ben. And Rachel Taylor plays Anne. And Joel Kinnaman plays Skylar, who was also in the Suicide Squad series. And Rachel Taylor, I believe, was actually in one of the Transformers movies. She was in the very first Transformers movie. Was that the only one she was in? And I guess she was also in Jessica Jones. And Marvel's Defenders. Actually, she's been in quite a bit of stuff that I've seen. And See No Evil. Wow, way back. Wow. Holy. Okay, so I guess she was in a few things that I knew. But I guess kind of these two movies would have been like more under the radar as far as movies go. But this movie is two friends who are going to sell, I believe it was some sort of like dating app that they wanted to take internationally. So they're going to Russia to meet with their friend Skylar, who is going to make the deal with, who's going to help them make the deal with the Russians to take their thing basically internationally or globally. And I guess they're starting off with Russia because Russia has a big, huge like club scene and night scene sort of thing. So they know that it would be a good thing or a good place to start a dating app or hookup app or whatever. I think it was kind of like a mix between the two. Basically, you meet the person on there, and I guess it tells the country that they're from or whatever, but they wanted to meet new women, obviously. That's why they were going to Russia. Then when they get there, Skylar screws them over with with Sean's design for the app. Completely just screws them over and says that it was his idea, tells them it was just business. When they're in the club, obviously Skylar's making all of the, or getting all of the attention from all the women, which is obviously not what they would have wanted. Obviously, they thought they were going to make the big ticket. Anyway, they end up meeting these two girls from, I don't know if the one was from the States or just, I believe only one of them was from the States, and the other one was obviously Australian. So they end up meeting up with them, and then obviously shit hits the fan real quick after that because all of a sudden they go outside. There's these alien type creatures, and they can turn invisible, and they can turn people to absolute dust. So this was a very interesting concept I found because it doesn't really tell you anything about these creatures. It just throws you right into everything's fine, and then all of a sudden it's just not, and it's like an extinction level event. And now you have to basically go right from your everyday life straight into survival mode. There is no slow, gradual build up to it. It's just boom, here you go, good luck, try to survive this attack on Earth. And as the movie progresses, it is kind of cool how they show the way that the aliens can see you. So they can't see through glass, I guess because they pick up on your electromagnetic pulse, I believe was what Sean said in the movie. And unfortunately for Natalie and Sean, they have to watch their friends get killed right in front of them, which is a horrible thing to have to experience. Because Ben saves one of these girls that they meet later on in the movie, and her name was Vika, played by Veronica Verdanskaya. I might be butchering that name completely. But anyhow, they are saved by these, I believe they might have been like military guys. Later on in the movie, and Sean and Natalie kind of convince them to fight with them because they did hear about this submarine that's taking everybody to safety. And by safety, I guess it kind of is just basically in the middle of the water until they're kind of just taking any survivors to the one survivable spot that they can for the time being until they hear back that, the attacks are over and the people have fought back enough to destroy this alien race. What else was I going to say? So when they meet up with Vika, she takes them to this guy who used to be maybe an electrician or some sort of handyman anyway, and he discovered that the alien creatures can actually be disrupted by microwaves. So he creates this gun to blast them, and then they actually do become visible for a certain period of time, and you can actually end up killing them during this very short period of time, and then you have to hit them again. And unfortunately, the guns aren't the most effective thing in the world. They seem to just end up dying after a very short period of time. And I would say that Sean and everybody else who uses these guns throughout the movie gets really lucky, except for obviously the guy that Vika took them to in the beginning, because he ends up getting killed because the gun doesn't work properly. So obviously they need a lot more battery power in these guns, and they just don't have that kind of power handy to them where they are, I guess, in the movie. They just don't have the battery sources left. And I guess these aliens were looking for electrical sources. I guess that's kind of their power. So obviously on Earth we have a very high amount of electrical sources, so I guess they were kind of mining for electricity. One of the soldiers that they meet later on in the movie brings up like copper and other electrical conductors that they could possibly be looking for throughout Earth to give them more power, or maybe they need it for their own planet, who knows. But I would say that was an interesting concept to have an invisible enemy, basically, and you have to kind of adapt and overcome in a very short period of time, obviously, to save humanity, because if you just gave up, everybody would end up dead. So I would highly recommend going to see this movie if you're into alien movies or even just monster movies in general, because it is a good one to watch. I won't be adding this to my monster movie month, just because I kind of want to have a select kind of movie style for that month, like legitimate monsters. I would say this is more of a sci-fi type thing than an actual monster movie. So yeah. But anyhow, I would give this movie an 8.5 out of 10, just because the actual design of the aliens, once you were able to see them, did kind of look a little, I don't know, comical, I guess, Is that the right word to describe it? If you've seen this movie, I guess you kind of know what I mean by that. But yeah, they didn't look as they were more scary when they were invisible, as opposed to when you could actually see them in their true form. I would say, not to say that they weren't necessarily freaky. When you could actually see their shells or whatever, I guess that's what I kind of would call it. It's kind of a weird concept because they just blew up, and it almost looked like they were just like a head and just a bunch of like spinal columns, basically, is the best way I could say, best way I could describe them, really. So it was kind of a weird design, but anyhow, yeah, I would give this movie an 8.5 out of 10, just because the design was a little weird, and the story could have been, I guess, a bit better. I would have liked a bit more description as to why the aliens were really there, rather than just the humans kind of guessing as to what they were there for. Because I don't think we ever really get a definitive answer. And I mean, I guess the ending was basically you hear about the humans fighting back all over the world, so it wasn't just one place that had this happen. It was a worldwide event. Because you hear Toronto, I think New York was one of the mentions. Paris was definitely one of the mentions at the end of the movie. New York might not have been. I know Paris and Toronto, so obviously it hit Canada too, which is crazy. So I do like these kind of apocalyptic movies type styles, and I'm not sure at the end because Natalie does watch Anne get evaporated, so I was kind of confused at the end when she got a text saying that she was with the other survivors. I'm not sure who that was even from then. It's a little confusing because I'm pretty sure she did watch her die in the movie, so I'm a little confused by that. But anyway, not important. So yeah, I think that's all I can really say about this movie. So please like, share, subscribe. Oh my god, I couldn't think of that word. And comment down below your thoughts on this film if you have seen it. If not, definitely go watch it. The last day to watch it on Netflix, however, is going to be May 31st. And this video will be going up on May... Hold on, let me pull up my calendar. Because I already have premieres right up till, I believe, the 26th. So yeah, this would be going up on May 28th. And then I'll have a video ready for May 31st. So you've really only got 3 days to watch it after I post this review, if you do end up watching this review. But anyhow, and then we will get right into June and July, hero months, I guess, really, now it will be. And I've already talked about that in my other video about the future of this channel and what's to come in June and July. And then I'll make a video near the end of July talking about what's coming in August, even though I've probably already mentioned it. But I would like to talk about that again. So yeah, I will actually look and see if this movie is on any other platforms, because I do have Disney Plus, and I do have Amazon Prime, and I do have Crave, and Tubi is a free one, so I'll see maybe if it's on there. I don't have Apple TV, so I don't really know what Apple TV offers. But yeah, I think that's all the ones that I have. I have Crave. Oh, it might be on HBO. Who knows? I don't know if I don't know if it's an HBO. I don't know if it is an HBO thing or not. Why was that so hard to say? Anyway, so I'll look and see if it's on any of the other ones, and I will leave that in a comment down below so you guys can see that if it is. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.